Hi everyone, this is Nicholas Jenkins here. This week we're talking about different attributes, different characteristics, skill sets that we think make people effective coaches. There's a couple different things that I think just based on what we've talked about this term, and just things that I've seen from other coaches and mentors that I think are great for this type of field. Something that's probably going to be common throughout all of our posts is talking about listening skills and being a good listener. Being an active listener, knowing when to interject, when to back off a little bit. We talked about body language at one point during the term. Body language combined with your, making eye contact, how you're sitting, where your hands are placed, just your overall interaction. That all speaks to good listening skills in general, in my opinion. Because when you're working with a client or another person, they can tell when you're engaged. They can tell whether it's going in one ear and out the other, whether you're retaining the information that they're telling you or that they're trying to relay to you with the issues or concerns that they're having. One thing that I've found has always kind of gone well hand in hand with listening is note-taking. And more so than just trying to scribble down everything that the client or the other individual is telling you, just trying to really grasp onto the key pieces of what they're telling you. That way you can kind of develop your pathway as far as, developing what their trajectory is going to look like, or what advice you would want to give to them, what resources you would want to refer them to. So listening skills and motor skills kind of go hand in hand with me, in my opinion. I think another aspect of being a good coach is being knowledgeable and being competent. What that comes down to is if you don't know the answer to what they're asking you, or you don't know where to find the resource, then be honest, tell them that you don't know. I was talking to a friend about this yesterday, but make it look like you know what you're talking about whenever you're relaying your guidance to them, your advice, and make it that way it doesn't seem like you're just kind of pulling it out of the air, because then it kind of seems like you're just trying to give your opinion in my thoughts. And I think just the more knowledgeable you are about like how to guide them in their next step, that's ultimately what's going to make you very successful and get them to continue coming to you as a coach. Encourage other people to utilize, the coaching resource that they might have, because I think one reason why people don't look to people for coaching or for counseling or anything like that is because they just don't feel like the person might know what they're talking about. It can be pretty transparent whenever you're talking in situations like that. So the next characteristic, I think, is that of empathy. I think we've all been in a lot of situations, difficult situations, challenging situations based on our academic, our personal, our professional lives, things like that. So regardless of how major or how minute someone's concerns might be about, what they're coming to you for counseling with, it's always important to kind of put yourself in their shoes, understand exactly how you might feel, or how your thoughts would translate if you were in that same exact situation, because again, that can be pretty transparent as well. If they feel like what they're voicing is not taken seriously, or you might feel like it's not legitimate or something like that, that all comes through between your body language, your motor skills, your mechanics, everything like that, as far as how serious they're going to take the situation. So I think empathy is obviously a big factor in any kind of counseling, coaching situation, personally or professionally. And the last attribute that I want to talk about is honesty. Like I said earlier, if you don't know the answer, if you don't know where the resource comes from, if you don't know exactly how best to guide a person, because there's a million and one different situations out there. We're not going to have the answers for everything. And in a discussion post I had in another course last week, we talked about getting your client or your coachee to understand that there's a concern without pointing it out to them. That's kind of what our goal is. So there has to be a level of honesty and legitimacy to kind of the dialogue and what you're saying. And if you don't know something, don't act as if you do, because that will translate into the guidance that we try to provide for them, and we definitely wouldn't want to steer any of our clients or coaches onto the wrong paths. So honesty has to be at the root of everything we do, especially when we're in a peer-to-peer type of relationship or peer-to-peer type of environment. That's obviously going to be the number one key to get people to take the legitimacy and the root of counseling and coaching seriously. So that is all I had. Thank you all. Look forward to your comments.